17 minutes past 9 right here on TRAXX FM. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the morning show on TRAXX. There's Kongyu the man, there's Green Man, there's Lee Sham over here, all to make your day a little bit better, and we hope we're doing just that, right? So, right now, Kongyu, our guest on the lines with us this morning to talk to us is none other than Associate Professor Dr. Yazrina Yahya, Director of International Relations Center, University Kebangsaan Malaysia. We'll be talking to her on the UKM Go Global Day, which is happening on the 11th of May 2017. Let's get her on the line. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Yazrina. How are you?
I'm okay, good. And is it the Green Man or is it Kongyu?
It's both of us over here.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah.
You're sounding so cheerful. It's so nice. Okay, tell us about the UKM Go Global Day. What is that about, ma'am?
All right. That UKM Go Global Day is actually a day where we want to promote internationalization for students to go abroad, especially for the local students, particularly UKM students. But having said that, we are also, it's a day on the 11th of May, which is in 2 days away, I think after the Wesak holiday, on this coming Thursday, where we invite the public and also UKM students to come over to the venue, which is in Pusanika, UKM, to learn about how they can take up the opportunity to go abroad.
Okay, so it's not just open for the UKM students, but it's also for the general public, yeah?
Yeah, for the general public, because we have speakers from the embassies, from Australia, from Japan, and then from France, and also another country, I think Korea, Taiwan, to talk about the scholarships opportunity that they have for students to go to their countries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and a lot of students are expected to be there. How many are you expecting? A big turnout?
Well, we have been doing this for about 3 years now. I think every year we are trying to increase the number of students who comes over. Last year we had about 400 plus who came over. So hoping that this year we'll hit the target more than 400 or 500.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because partly it's to encourage our local students, actually. Now, we're telling them you don't get the opportunity to study abroad for 3 years, for a full-time study in the overseas. But since you're here at the local university in UKM particularly, you have the chance to at least go for 1 semester to experience studying, in countries like Sweden, Netherlands, Japan, Korea, and then Mexico, Kazakhstan, and many more. Yeah.
That's right. So you won't be missing your summer bachan too much, yeah? Otherwise, like for me, I can't leave home for too long.
No. I think the shortest period that we allow the students is for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks up to for about 14 weeks, which is 1 semester.
That's right.
Yeah, because we wanted the students to experience the culture and also to learn about how is it to be abroad. That you get that. What do you call that? That experience and knowledge in communicating with other people outside your comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, for them to learn about other people's culture, because that will add on to their particular CV, actually. Because when the students graduated, a lot of them will graduate around the same time. So what makes one particular student differs from the other? Especially when they face on the local market, right?
Right.
So we're telling the students, look, you must take this opportunity. They have to be bold enough, to make decisions that I'm going for 1 semester. I'm going to be away from my parents, from my comfort zone. I'm going to be learning something new and, getting lectures different from my usual environment. So it's all those kind of experience that will help to shape the students. When they come back, you will realize, a lot of us, especially myself and people who work at the UKM Global, the international office, we realize that these students, they actually change. They are more outspoken, they are more confident, and they are able to interact with, in the international people per se.
That's right.
So this is all part of the in-campus internationalization, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
And tell us a bit more. There is also longer exchange programs?
Right. Now, the longest exchange program, we allow the students to go for 1 semester, but they can actually go for 2 semesters. We had students, I think about a few years back, and until today, students who went to Singapore. It's just Singapore. You'll be surprised that when you go to Singapore, weather is the same. Food is the same, the culture is about the same.
Yes.
But the student actually requested to stay for 1 whole year in Singapore.
Wow.
They enjoyed it so much, eh?
They enjoyed it so much. Partly was because they say the education system is slightly different.
Right.
Even like in Indonesia, a few of my students went. There were in every semester we'll send maximum like 4 in a country. We do not want to send a lot because we don't want them to be in a group, you see. They need to be pushed into a situation where they need to communicate with the local people. So when my student went to Indonesia, they were telling me, Dr. Yas, it's so different in Indonesia because the students are much more outspoken. They're literally very active in class. So they are engaged in those kind of activities and experience. When they come back, then they adapt to whatever good values that they have learned.
That's right. It also has brings on a sense of appreciation for what they did have so far.
Exactly. Because some of the students who went, to other countries, let's say, I think one went to Bangladesh, if I'm not mistaken. Then they realized, it's always good to be back home. There are certain things, that they appreciate more.
That's right.
But I always tell them, when you are abroad, pick up all the good values, the good culture. I mean, for instance, a student went to Japan, then they realized that, they are very systematic. They're very systematic, that even if you go to the bathroom, there is a time to go to the bathroom.
Right.
So they say it teaches them to be, following to the time, following to the rules. Those are good values.
That would be good for
That's
Malaysians,
good.
yeah?
In general.
Timeliness, punctuality.
Exactly. And then they realize that when you go into the queue, the train station, you need to queue. And I said, and
right.
what's happening in Malaysia. so I told them, when you learn those good values, when you come back, you have to practice it. I mean, you start small, then you can influence your friends. So that's coming back to the Go Global Day.
Right.
This is when we are trying to promote to the students, like they have to have that courage. They have to take that bold step, because a lot of our local students, I am not too sure, I think some media, over the years, the media has said, even the industry people has said, the local students are very timid, they are very quiet, but they're good at doing their work. So this is one kind of experience that we tell the students, you won't get this in the classroom.
Right.
You won't get this if you just confine yourself into your local environment. Yeah?
That's
because,
right.
They need that push to learn something new, to make sure that they have that added value.
And to realize they're a lot better than they think they are, yeah? And
exactly.
Then they have that potential in them. That's what Go Global is hoping, yeah?
It is, because, you see, I told the students, because a lot of them would say, Dr. Yas, it's so difficult to go abroad. Number one is the money. All right. Where do we find the money? Because if you go to Japan, you go to Europe, the current exchange rate is not helping, right? It's very expensive. And then number two, they're worried about, hey, my English is not so good, right? How am I going to communicate with these other people when my English is like Malaysian language with la, here, there, campur, everything. And then the third one, they say, I'll be away from my parents. I'll be away from, my friends. How do I adapt? It's kind of scary sometimes.
Right.
Yeah? And then the other one that they say, hey, there's just too many forms for me to fill in. So
right. Too many forms.
Too many forms, because they do. Because as a local student, when they want to go abroad, number one, if you do not want to think of money problem, of course, there'll be some funding assistance that we do provide. All right, just to let you know, a lot of the IPTAs, the public universities, even the private universities, we provide these platforms to the students where we tell them you can go abroad, there's a funding assistance. It may not be enough. You still have to find some on your own because we want them to take that ownership. You know,
Right.
so you together work with the university, pushing yourself, you're helping the university because we want the numbers out. We want our local graduates to have that flavor and also that branding that, hey, you guys are also good.
That's right.
Yeah, compared to those who graduate
So
from
many
overseas.
positive things we can take out of
It
talking
is.
to you this morning.
Exactly.
It is.
I learned complacency kills. That means if you just want to stay being the way you are, doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting.
Exactly.
I also learned, what was the other one I learned? I lost it really.
It was just too many lessons for the Green Man.
Too many.
Too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Two overwhelming lessons on Monday.
Meanwhile, the UCAM Go Global Day happens on Thursday, 11th May.
Yep,
Okay.
this Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, this week.
Do you have a itinerary or the program?
All right, it
Okay.
starts at 10 o'clock. We're going to hit with just the opening ceremony, and then we're going to have talks by the embassies, all right? And we also have what we call lucky draws for those who are coming for the particular event.
Nice.
And then we also have the sharing session by our students. And we do invite some outside people who has experience. I think, what was the name? I'm so sorry, because all the itinerary is prepared by my
Right.
students and also myself. We do have some other people from outside to share their experience actually when they are abroad. What are the good things of
Right.
being abroad? Yeah, what does it take for you to go abroad for one short semester?
Rest assured, it'll be an eye opener. You're saying, yeah?
Yep, it
Good.
is. I mean, I'm hoping that it'll be an eye-opener to the students because I'm trying to tell them, because, look, you can go abroad because of the flight tickets nowadays. Yeah, you've got Air Asia, you've got Malindo. I mean, flight tickets are fairly very cheap. But if you go abroad on traveling basis, it's different. Okay?
Ah.
Because when you go for traveling basis, you go for like 3 days, 2 nights, or 7 days, 6 nights. It's just you and your friends, or maybe you're a backpacker. It's a complete different when you have to stay at a place for a specific period of time. It's a complete different experience.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
that happens on
Okay.
11th May at UCAM. But meanwhile,
At
Yes.
UKM at Pusanika building is in the. If they come to UKM, just ask the guard where is Pusanika. It's 10 o'clock up until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward
All
to
right.
that then.
I
And
hope to see you there if you can come.
there you go. It would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Associate Professor Dr. Yasrina Yahya. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
Evan and
welcome.
Kong Yu. Yeah.
You're
You have
welcome.
a good day.
You
All
too.
right? Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. On UKM's Go Global Day, happening on the 11th of May, 2017.
that's
yes?
right.
So,
She is the director of the International Relations Center of University Kebangsaan Malaysia.